Okay, now on to our secret video. If you chose to watch this, I'm telling you right now, you're going to be glad that you did. Notice we're doing example 2 over again. I'm just going to do it in a different way that will be very, very beneficial to you in saving time and your brain cells. Because doing these the other way, where we plugged in the whole function to the next, was kind of hard. You do need to be able to do it, so that's why I taught it that way. But if you chose to watch this, trust me, you're going to be glad you did, because doing it this other way is much, much easier. Okay, so we're still doing the same exact problem. We're finding g of h of -3, except now, let me get my pen here. Except now I'm going to take -3, I'm going to plug it in h of x first, and then find out what that is, and take its output, and then plug it into g. So I'm just going to do h of -3 first, which means everywhere I see an x, I put a -3, so we have -8 times -3. And -8 times -3 is a positive 24. So now that I know that h of -3 is 24, I'm going to take that 24 and then plug it into g of x. So g of 24 is going to be the absolute value of, well, 24, which is just 24, which, if you remember, was the exact same answer we had last time. So we know g of h of -3 is 24. Okay, this time we just took numbers, which are a lot easier to work with than variables, and we plugged it into each one separately. But notice I didn't plug -3 into g. I took what h of -3 was, which was 24, and I plugged it into g. Okay, so we took h's output, went into g as its input. Alrighty, and then that's essentially what this is saying. It's saying evaluate the function h at -3 and take whatever you get there and put it into g and evaluate g at whatever you get, and then that's your final answer. Okay, works the other way too. Here though, we're going to plug it into g first, so we want g of -3. So g of -3 is the absolute value of -3. Well, the absolute value of -3 we know is 3. So g of -3 is 3, so we take 3, not -3, we take 3 and plug it in then to h of x. So h of 3 now is going to be -8 times regular 3. Okay, we've already used the absolute value, so we don't need that. So here we get -8 times 3, which is -24, which, if you recall, was the exact same thing we had for h of g of -3. Was -24. Okay, so if you're looking at your notes from the last example 2, you might want to jot this one down as well. You can pause the video here for a bit and jot it down too, because this is sometimes going to serve you better. It's going to be easier to do the input of one, put it in there, get the output of it, and then put it into the second function. So you essentially have 2 inputs and 2 outputs, and it's kind of like a chain reaction leading to your final answer here. Okay, so you choose whichever you like better. I think this way is easier, and I think you're going to be glad that you chose to watch this video. Have a good night. Thanks for joining me.